Some lights don't fade. They simply pass into another realm of memory. Cancer took many of Britain's most gifted storytellers, but not their voices. Today, on Celebrity Tribute Hub, we honor 10 remarkable actors and actresses whose lives were defined by passion, artistry, and courage. Their stories remind us that true greatness isn't measured by years lived, but by hearts moved, and these souls moved millions. Stanley Baker embodied strength, grit, and authenticity. Known for Zulu, Helldrivers, and the Guns of Navarone, he redefined the image of the British screen hero, tough, raw, and real. Born in Wales, he brought working-class dignity to every role he played. Baker passed away in 1976, aged 48, after battling lung cancer. His powerful performances left a legacy of realism that reshaped British cinema. Stanley Baker remains a symbol of integrity, reminding us that true heroes don't wear crowns. They carry conviction. Peter Byrne's charm made him a household favorite. Best known as Andy Crawford in Dixon of Dock Green, he brought decency and warmth to one of television's most enduring characters. Beyond the screen, his dedication to theater and mentoring younger actors reflected his lifelong love of performance. Byrne passed away in 2018, aged 90, after facing cancer with quiet dignity. His gentle screen presence and unwavering professionalism left a mark that still resonates. Peter Byrne's legacy reminds us that kindness and authenticity are the truest forms of greatness. Buster, Merryfield's face brought joy to millions. As Uncle Albert in Only Fools and Horses, his humor, warmth, and catchphrases became part of British culture. Before acting, he lived an entire life of service and dedication, a boxer, soldier, and bank manager before fame found him. Merryfield passed away in 1999, aged 78, following a brain tumor. His life proved that it's never too late to shine. Buster's laughter still echoes through reruns and memories alike, reminding us that some smiles truly never fade from the heart. Victor, modern's rugged features made him the perfect face of post-war British cinema. Appearing in I'm All Right, Jack and countless war dramas, he portrayed ordinary men with extraordinary honesty. Behind the tough exterior was a man of humor and humility, deeply respected by peers. Mattern passed away in 1993, aged 65, from a brain tumor. His performances celebrated working-class strength and sincerity. Victor's legacy lives on in every soldier, sailor, and underdog he brought to life. Characters who fought hard, laughed harder, and never gave up. Brian Jackson was the quiet craftsman of British television. With appearances in Z-Cars, Doctor Who, and Coronation Street, his versatility made him a familiar and comforting presence for decades. He also became known for his voice work and storytelling talent, captivating audiences across generations. Jackson passed away in 2022, aged 90, after facing prostate cancer with courage. His steady career reflected professionalism and grace, never chasing fame, but always pursuing excellence. Brian Jackson's name may be softly spoken, but his influence on British television remains undeniably strong. Anna Massey carried an elegance uniquely her own. From Peeping Tom to Darling and Anna Karenina, she balanced vulnerability with quiet strength. Her performances filled with emotional truth. Critics often called her the actress's actress, admired for precision and poise. Massey passed away in 2011, aged 73, from lung cancer. Her career was a study in subtlety, never loud, always lasting. Anna's legacy rests in the characters she shaped, complex, intelligent women whose humanity still moves audiences today. Her artistry proved that restraint can speak louder than words. Geoffrey Hughes brought laughter into every living room. Beloved for Coronation Street, Keeping Up Appearances, and Heartbeat, he created characters that felt like family, ordinary, funny, and full of heart. Off-screen, his kindness mirrored his on-screen warmth. Hughes passed away in 2012, aged 68, from prostate cancer. His performances continue to comfort viewers who grew up with his humor and sincerity. Jeffrey's legacy lives on through endless replays and fond memories, a reminder that comedy, when honest, can heal. And that joy is the greatest gift an actor leaves behind. John Normington's talent thrived quietly, yet deeply. Known for a kind of loving Doctor Who and Torchwood, he was one of Britain's most respected character actors. His subtlety gave truth to every role, whether on stage or screen. Normington passed away in 2007, aged 70, from pancreatic cancer. He was remembered not for fame, but for excellence, the rare ability to disappear into his characters completely. John's work endures as proof that true artistry doesn't seek the spotlight. It builds worlds where audiences forget they're watching fiction at all. Tony Anholt defines suave sophistication. From Howard's Way to Space, 1999. His natural elegance made him one of British television's most magnetic figures. Behind the charm was a deep dedication to storytelling and craft. He passed away in 2002, aged 61, from a brain tumor, leaving behind a legacy of professionalism and grace. Anholt's calm strength on screen made viewers feel they knew him personally. His performances continue to resonate with authenticity and warmth. Tony Anholt proved that sometimes quiet confidence can leave a louder mark than fame ever could. David Warner's career spanned every corner of performance, from Shakespeare to science fiction. Known for The Omen, Tron, Titanic, and countless stage roles, he brought intellect and depth to every part he played. His voice alone could command attention, filled with intelligence and melancholy. Warner passed away in 2022, aged 80, after a battle with cancer. He was one of Britain's finest exports, admired worldwide for his versatility. David's legacy lives on through characters that redefine gravitas, proof that true artistry transcends time, genre, and even mortality. Brian Glover was a force of nature, wrestler, actor, and storyteller rolled into one. From his unforgettable role in Kess to Alien Cubed and An American Werewolf in London, he brought raw honesty and humor to every performance. His Yorkshire roots gave his work authenticity and heart. Glover passed away in 1997, aged 63, following a brain tumor. His booming voice and fierce personality made him impossible to forget. Brian's legacy remains one of grit and laughter, proof that working-class spirit and artistry can coexist beautifully on screen. Angharad Ries radiated both charm and grace. Best known as Demelza in Poldark, she captivated audiences with her expressive warmth and sincerity. Beyond acting, she was a talented jewelry designer whose creativity flowed from heart to hand. Ries passed away in 2012, aged 68, from pancreatic cancer. Her spirit of kindness and resilience left a lasting impression on everyone who knew her. Angharad's legacy remains that of a woman who turned every role and every life. She touched into something filled with light, love, and enduring beauty. Caroline Ahern's humor was fearless, sharp, and deeply human. Creator and star of The Royal Family and Mrs. Merton, she changed the face of British comedy with honesty that made laughter feel like truth. Her wit hid vulnerability. Her compassion made her irreplaceable. Ahern passed away in 2016, aged 52, from lung cancer. Even in illness, she used her humor to comfort others. Caroline's legacy lives in laughter that comes with tears, the kind that heals. She reminded us that comedy, at its best, is born from courage and love. Anita Karas's face was familiar to millions. From Coronation Street to Doctors, she filled British television with warmth, humor, and emotional depth. Her performances carried sincerity that made every scene feel real. Carrie passed away in 2023, aged 75, after a long battle with breast cancer. She faced illness with quiet strength, continuing to inspire fans and peers alike. Anita's work stands as a testament to resilience and compassion, a reminder that greatness doesn't demand fame, only honesty. Her artistry remains alive in every heart she made feel seen. George Rossi brought empathy to every role he played. Known as DC Duncan Lennox in The Bill, he gave depth to characters who felt genuine, never exaggerated. Off-screen, he was loved for his humor and kindness, a true gentleman of television. Rossi passed away in 2022, aged 60, from pancreatic cancer. His performances still carry the quiet authenticity that made him special. George's legacy lives not in fame, but in truth, proof that even small-screen heroes can leave the biggest footprints in the hearts of those who watched. Pete Postlethwaite was often called the greatest actor in the world by Steven Spielberg, and it wasn't an exaggeration. From In the Name of the Father to The Usual Suspects and Brassed Off, he brought intensity, humility, and soul to every frame. His rugged features told stories before he spoke a word. Postlethwaite passed away in 2011, aged 64, after battling pancreatic cancer. His performances remain masterclasses in emotional truth. Pete's legacy endures as a reminder that greatness isn't in glamour, but in honesty, the courage to show life exactly as it is. Elizabeth, Slate and Smile defined generations of science fiction fans. As Sarah Jane Smith in Doctor Who, she became a symbol of curiosity, bravery, and compassion. For decades, she inspired children and adults alike with her fearless spirit. Sladen passed away in 2011, aged 65, from pancreatic cancer. Her legacy extends beyond television. She became family to millions of viewers. Elizabeth's presence lives on through reruns, tributes, and every fan who found hope in her eyes. She taught us that courage and kindness are the real superpowers that never die. Paul Ritter could turn silence into brilliance. Known for Friday Night Dinner, Chernobyl, and Harry Potter, he balanced comedy and tragedy with rare mastery. His subtle expressions spoke volumes. His performances lingered long after the credits. Ritter passed away in 2021, aged 54, following a brain tumor. Even in his final days, colleagues described him as gentle and generous. Paul's legacy lies in emotional honesty, the art of doing everything without seeming to try. His work remains a beacon of excellence forever woven into Britain's storytelling tapestry. Asterisk. John Thaw's presence filled the room before he spoke. As Inspector Morse, he embodied quiet intelligence, vulnerability, and humanity. His voice, his walk, his stillness, all became part of British television history. Thaw passed away in 2002, aged 60, after battling esophageal cancer. He was remembered not only for Morse, but for redefining what a leading man could be: introspective, thoughtful, and real. John's legacy continues through every detective drama that followed. His performances remind us that intellect, empathy, and silence can speak louder than words ever could. Wendy Richard made laughter feel like comfort. From Are You Being Served? To EastEnders, she became one of Britain's most beloved television icons. Her comedic timing, warmth, and resilience made her unforgettable to millions. Richard passed away in 2009, aged 65, after bravely battling breast cancer twice. She never lost her humor or strength. Wendy's legacy shines in her courage and her laughter, both as loud and life-affirming as ever. Through every rerun and memory, she reminds us that joy, when shared, is the most powerful gift of all. Sean Locke turned everyday absurdity into laughter that felt healing. As a stand-up and panelist on 8 out of 10 Cats, his wit was both razor-sharp and deeply human. Behind his calm demeanor was one of comedy's most brilliant minds, clever, surreal, and full of heart. Locke passed away in 2021, aged 58, from skin cancer. His humor endures in the laughter he gave so freely. Sean's legacy proves that true comedians don't chase applause. They reveal life's truth through laughter, leaving warmth long after the joke ends. Jake Abraham's energy filled every room. Known for Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and The Responder, he embodied both mischief and depth, making audiences feel every moment. Open about his battle with prostate cancer, he faced it with honesty and bravery that inspired many. Abraham passed away in 2023, aged 56. His laughter, humility, and Scouse charm remain unforgettable. Jake's life was proof that courage isn't about pretending to be fearless. It's about living fully in spite of fear, and smiling until the final curtain call. Bill Owen's warmth became part of British television's heartbeat. As Compo Simonite in Last of the Summer Wine, he embodied joy, innocence, and humor that never aged. Also a talented songwriter, Owen's creativity extended far beyond acting. He passed away in 1999, aged 85, after battling pancreatic cancer. Yet his laughter still echoes through reruns watched with nostalgia. Bill's legacy is simple, but profound. Life is richer when lived with kindness and curiosity. Through his gentle humor, he taught Britain that growing older never means growing dull. John Shalley was Britain's gentleman of comedy. Immortalized as Boycie in Only Fools and Horses, his sly wit and perfect timing turned every line into legend. Off-screen, he was warm, generous, and deeply appreciative of his fans. Shalley passed away in 2021, aged 79, from pancreatic cancer. He faced illness with the same grace that defined his career. John's legacy is laughter wrapped in elegance, reminder that humor, when delivered with heart, can outlive the performer. His voice and grin remain part of Britain's collective memory. Peter Adamson was a pioneer of British television drama. As Len Fairclough in Coronation Street, he helped shape one of the longest-running series in history. His portrayal carried depth and quiet realism that grounded the show's early years. Adamson passed away in 2002, aged 72, from stomach cancer. Despite personal struggles, his dedication to storytelling never wavered. Peter's performances remain woven into Britain's television legacy, testament to resilience and reinvention. He reminded us that even amid controversy, talent and truth always find their rightful place. Sebastian Graham-Jones wore many creative hats: actor, director, and champion of theater's future. His work on stage and screen, from Brideshead Revisited to Poirot, revealed precision and compassion in equal measure. Colleagues remembered his intellect, kindness, and mentorship. Graham-Jones passed away in 2004, aged 56, after battling cancer. His influence lives in the productions he shaped and the artists he inspired. Sebastian's legacy is quiet brilliance, proof that some of the most powerful performances are not given under lights, but in the guidance and generosity shared behind them. Leslie Fitzsimon's presence on Take the High Road made her a familiar face to millions. Her warmth and charisma brought humanity to every role she played. Beyond acting, she was admired for resilience and kindness that touched everyone around her. Fitzsimon's passed away in 2013, aged 51, from breast cancer. Her courage became part of her legacy, inspiring others to face adversity with grace. Leslie's memory remains alive in her fans' hearts, proof that true beauty lies not in fame, but in the love one leaves behind. Claire Van Campan was a rare artistic force: composer, playwright, and director whose creative vision bridged centuries of sound and story. Known for her acclaimed stage work and partnership with Mark Rylance, she infused music with soul. Van Campen passed away in 2025, age 71, after battling cancer with quiet courage. Her artistry transcended boundaries, shaping modern theater with classical grace. Claire's legacy is harmony itself, the meeting of intellect and emotion, history and heart. Through every note she wrote, her voice continues to guide the rhythm of storytelling. Kathleen Byron's eyes could convey a novel in silence. Her haunting performance in Black Narcissus remains one of cinema's most iconic portrayals of passion and madness. A cornerstone of British film's golden era, she brought complexity and intelligence to every role. Byron passed away in 2009, aged 88, after battling cancer. Her legacy endures through timeless performances studied by actors to this day. Kathleen proved that true intensity doesn't require noise, it thrives in subtlety. Her work continues to captivate, reminding us that vulnerability can be the greatest power of all. Wilfrid Bramble gave the world laughter it never forgot. As the cantankerous Albert Steptoe in Steptoe and Son, he helped define British sitcom history. His timing, expression, and humor turned grumpiness into art. Beyond comedy, Bramble was a seasoned stage actor with range few appreciated fully. He passed away in 1985, aged 72, after battling cancer. His influence on television comedy remains immense. Wilfrid's legacy is the reminder that laughter often hides humanity, and that behind every grouch on screen is an artist who gave everything to make us smile. Sophia Hack's energy could light up a stage. From Bombay Dreams to Coronation Street, her performances shimmered with charisma and grace. A gifted singer, dancer, and actress, she seamlessly bridged East and West, bringing cultural vibrancy to every role. Hack passed away in 2013, aged 41, after battling cancer. Her spirit was joyful, her artistry bold. Sophia's legacy remains in the diversity she championed, proof that creativity knows no borders. She left the world too soon, but her light continues to inspire dreamers who dare to shine. Roger Lloyd-Pack could make an entire nation laugh with a single puzzled expression. As Trigger in Only Fools and Horses and Owen Newitt in The Vicar of Dibley, he became a cornerstone of British comedy. Off-screen, his kindness and humility made him beloved by all who knew him. Lloyd-Pack passed away in 2014, age 69, from pancreatic cancer. His timing and sincerity turned simplicity into brilliance. Roger's legacy is laughter, honest, human, and timeless. He taught us that comedy's truest power lies not in exaggeration, but in truth. Michael Williams carried quiet strength into every role. Known for educating Rita and Henry V, and as the husband of Judi Dench, he embodied dignity both on and off screen. His gentle humor and emotional honesty made his performances deeply memorable. Williams passed away in 2001, age 65, after battling lung cancer. His partnership with Dench was one of theater's most cherished love stories. Michael's legacy remains in the humanity he gave every line. A reminder that sometimes the softest voices leave the most enduring echoes. Michael Bates' versatility defined his generation. From It Ain't Half Hot Mom to A Clockwork Orange, he brought precision, humor, and intelligence to his roles. His military background gave his performances authenticity, and his comedic instincts made them unforgettable. Bates passed away in 1978, aged 57, after battling cancer. Though his life was brief, his talent was boundless. Michael's legacy endures in every character who feels both absurd and real. He proved that great comedy doesn't come from jokes alone. It's born from truth, timing, and heart. Roger Tonge's story was one of resilience. As Sandy Richardson in Crossroads, he was one of television's first actors to portray a disabled character, a reflection of his own reality after illness left him. Wheelchair-bound, he continued, acting with courage and grace, never letting adversity define him. Tonge passed away in 1981, aged 35, from Hodgkin's lymphoma. His strength broke barriers for representation on screen. Roger's legacy is quiet, but revolutionary proof that talent isn't limited by circumstance, and that courage, when shared, can change an industry forever. Brian Murphy's laughter filled British homes for decades. Best known as George Roper in Man About the House and George and Mildred, his lovable awkwardness made him an icon of sitcom history. Off-screen, he was known for his humility and devotion to his craft. Murphy passed away in 2025, aged 92, after a long battle with cancer. His humor was gentle, yet unforgettable. Brian's legacy remains in every smile he sparked. Proof that comedy built on kindness and honesty can remain timeless long after the curtain falls. Margaret John brought warmth and depth to every role she touched. Known for Gavin and Stacey and a bit of Fry and Laurie, she became a symbol of endearing Welsh humor and grace. Her performances felt lived in, full of heart and humanity. John passed away in 2011, aged 84, after battling liver cancer. She was loved by peers and audiences alike for her wit and authenticity. Margaret's legacy is comfort, the kind found in familiar laughter and familiar love. She reminded us that sincerity is the soul of great storytelling. John Shrapnel carried gravitas that commanded respect. From Notting Hill to Gladiator and the Duchess, his deep voice and calm authority made every role resonate. A lifelong theater actor and Shakespearean, he brought weight and wisdom to every word. Shrapnel passed away in 2020, aged 77, after battling prostate cancer. His performances still echo with timeless power. John's legacy remains one of craftsmanship and integrity, a reminder that true artistry is not in fame, but in consistency, devotion, and love for the story being told. Asterisk. Sarah Coward was a voice that defined comfort for millions. As Ruth Archer in BBC Radio's The Archers, she became part of Britain's daily life, a companion to generations of listeners. Off-air, she was admired for her warmth and wit. Coward passed away in 2017, aged 69, after a battle with breast cancer. Her legacy isn't just in sound, but in connection, the way she made listeners feel seen and heard. Sarah proved that even voices can touch hearts more deeply than faces ever could. John Comer gave British comedy its beating heart. As Sid in Last of the Summer Wine, he balanced humor and humanity perfectly, turning everyday life into laughter. His easygoing charm made audiences feel at home, both in sitcoms and films. Comer passed away in 1984, aged 64, from throat cancer. His legacy endures in his natural warmth and timing, hallmarks of a performer who never needed exaggeration to entertain. John's laughter still feels familiar, like an old friend reminding us that joy, once shared, never truly leaves. Shirley Stelfox's sharp wit and commanding presence made her unforgettable. Best known as Edna Birch in Emmerdale, she became one of British television's most beloved characters. Her career stretched across stage, film, and sitcoms, where she brought both humor and depth. Stelfox passed away in 2015, aged 74, from terminal cancer. Her colleagues remembered her as fearless and fiercely funny. Shirley's legacy remains one of authenticity, an actress who found truth in every line, reminding us that strength can be found even in life's quietest moments. Christian Roberts made his mark early as Denham in To Sir, with Love, standing beside Sidney Poitier in a film that defined an era. His career spanned theater and film, filled with roles that carried both grit and charm. Roberts passed away in 2022, aged 78, after battling cancer with courage and grace. Though fame never defined him, passion did. Christian's performances reflected his warmth and integrity, leaving behind an artistic legacy built not on celebrity, but on sincerity. A reminder that true greatness lies in dedication and heart. Peter Jeffrey's face was as familiar as his voice, commanding, intelligent, and often mischievous. From Doctor Who to If and the Adventures of Baron Munchausen, he embodied versatility at its finest. His deep understanding of character made him a favorite among directors and peers. Jeffrey passed away in 1999, aged 70, from prostate cancer. His performances still resonate with subtlety and wit. Peter's legacy is one of precision and power, proof that an actor's craft isn't measured in fame, but in how honestly he makes us believe. Tom Adams carried old-school charisma wherever he went. Known for The Great Escape, The London Line, and countless television appearances, he brought confidence and command to every role. Off-screen, his warmth and humor earned admiration from fans and colleagues alike. Adams passed away in 2014, aged 76, after facing cancer with quiet bravery. His performances reflected both strength and sensitivity, a balance rare in cinema. Tom's legacy endures as one of understated excellence, reminding us that true presence doesn't shout. It simply fills the room with grace. Christopher Blake was a household favorite whose gentle charm defined British comedy of the 1970s and 80s. Best known for Mixed Blessings and That's My Boy, he made laughter feel sincere. Beyond acting, Blake was a devoted father and writer, bringing warmth to everything he touched. He passed away in 2004, aged 55, from lymphoma. His smile still lingers in the memories of those who grew up watching him. Christopher's legacy remains in his humanity, the rare gift of making people feel both comforted and understood through humor. Alastair Sim was a master of expression, able to say everything with a single raised eyebrow. Beloved for The Bells of St. Trinian's and A Christmas Carol, he defined a generation of British comedy and character acting. His subtle humor and quiet wisdom made him an enduring favorite. Sim passed away in 1976, aged 75, from lung cancer. His performances remain timeless lessons in understatement and intelligence. Alastair's legacy lives on in every actor who seeks truth behind laughter, proof that subtlety can be the loudest voice of all. Stewart Granger was the very definition of screen elegance. A swashbuckling star of Scaramouche and King Solomon's Mines, he combined charm with commanding confidence. His career took him from British cinema to Hollywood, where his presence was magnetic. Granger passed away in 1993, aged 80, after battling prostate cancer. Behind the glamour was a dedicated craftsman who loved storytelling above all. Stewart's legacy remains in the timeless films that still inspire adventure and romance. Proof that charisma, when grounded in sincerity, becomes immortal. Terence Rigby's deep, rumbling voice made every word sound profound. From Tinker Tailor's Soldier Spy to Get Carter and Mona Lisa, he gave toughness, emotional depth. A Royal Shakespeare Company veteran, Rigby was admired for his intensity and discipline. He passed away in 2008, aged 71, from lung cancer. His performances carried quiet gravitas that elevated every production. Terence's legacy endures in the respect of actors who followed his lead, professionals who learned that true strength in performance isn't loud or showy. It's steady, grounded, and real. Corin Redgrave came from one of Britain's great acting dynasties, but his voice was uniquely his own. From Four Weddings and a Funeral to A Man for All Seasons, he delivered conviction and compassion in every role. Off-screen, he was a passionate activist for human rights and social justice. Redgrave passed away in 2010, aged 70, from prostate cancer. His legacy extends far beyond theater. It lives in courage and conscience. Corin proved that artistry and integrity can walk hand in hand, leaving behind both art and impact. Morag Siller was known for her kindness as much as her talent. A familiar face in Coronation Street and Casualty, she brought sincerity to every performance. Off-screen, she became a symbol of resilience, openly sharing her journey with breast cancer to inspire others. Siller passed away in 2016, aged 46, surrounded by loved ones. Her warmth continues to radiate through those who remember her laughter and generosity. Morag's legacy is compassion proof that the most powerful performances aren't always scripted, but lived with courage and heart. Harry Secombe's voice was a gift, booming with laughter, music, and kindness. As part of the Goon show and later a beloved presenter and singer, he became a national treasure. His optimism uplifted generations through joy and faith alike. Secombe passed away in 2001, aged 79, from prostate cancer. His humor and heart made him more than an entertainer. He was a friend to millions. Harry's legacy is laughter that comforts, faith that inspires, and a voice that still echoes hope across time and memory. Each name in this series represents more than talent. It represents humanity, resilience, and truth. These British icons taught us how to live with grace, create with heart, and face life's final act with courage. Their art still moves us, reminding the world that creativity never dies. Thank you for watching Celebrity Tribute Hub. Like, share, and subscribe to keep their timeless stories alive for generations to come.